I just landed in Asuncion, Paraguay, here in South America. I've been staying in Buenos Aires, Argentina for the last little bit. Decided to do a bit of a side quest over to Asuncion. Don't really know what to expect in this town. In terms of like things to do, they say it's not necessarily filled to the brim with things to do and activities, but funny enough, a lot of people do actually come here from Argentina and other Latin American countries to buy things like clothes, because especially in Argentina, clothes are super, super expensive. So I just landed, I just got checked into my hotel here, got a pretty cool little one bedroom hotel room, nothing too fancy. Was relatively inexpensive. There's a rooftop pool as well. I'm gonna go check that out in a bit. But yeah, let's just get my first impressions of this country, of this city. I don't really know, again, what to expect. So you're along for the ride with me. Let's go check it out. Okay, so just got up to the rooftop of the hotel. I don't really know too much about the neighborhoods here. I'm in the Villa Mora, as they would say in Argentina. Villa Mora neighborhood, which is kind of in the downtown. Just like Googling it, they said this was the most like tourist-friendly area. Actually, my pool is pretty sick. So I'm staying at this place called the Five Hotel. This is like the rooftop pool bar. Looks like it's heavily sponsored by Corona. Then down, I think this way over here is like where most of the malls and everything are. So I'm gonna go check that out shortly. And then on this side of the city over here is towards the water, and that's like where the presidential palace is, that they say is like pretty worth going to check out. So don't really know kind of what else to do. It's Saturday, so it's middle of the day. I'm gonna go check out the malls, probably find somewhere to have lunch and get a couple drinks. But yeah, this is what the city looks like so far from my rooftop. I'm only on the 5th floor, so you can't get like a full view of what's going on down there, but it looks pretty, yeah, it looks pretty nice. Looks like the building across the street from this hotel is going to be pretty massive in a few years when it's done, based off of the pictures they have on the billboards. But right now it's in the early stages. So yeah, that's the plan. We're gonna explore a little bit. I'm gonna have a couple pints up here on the roof, and then probably go check out them all. Okay, so sitting outside at Shopping Mariscal here in Villa Mora in Asunción, Paraguay. It's extremely hot here. Behind me, I don't know if you can see it, there's outdoor air conditioning. Funny that they consider this, like, it's always funny when people talk about like the third world countries and things like this, and then they actually ended up having more luxuries than things do back home. Like, I don't think there's a mall in Canada that has anything like outdoor air conditioning is such a luxury. That's like a Las Vegas only thing that's the only place really I can think of that I've seen it. So it's funny to be down here in Paraguay and South America and still having it. The mall itself is actually really, really nice, and from what I've heard from Argentinians, a lot of people actually fly here just to go shopping. And it seems like I've only been to a couple stores so far, but I got a Messi jersey from Inter Miami FC. It was like $21 US for a t-shirt jersey, not like a proper kit, which is actually like quite a lot cheaper than, like, in Argentina it's probably like 3 or 4 times that price. Drinking a beer on the patio here was like $3 Canadian for a beer, so I would say the cost so far has been really, really affordable compared to even Argentina, which is definitely cheaper than Canada is the last little while. But yeah, we're gonna keep kind of exploring, experimenting a little bit, seeing what the prices are for other things. It is extremely hot. This is actually like a colder day, and I would say it's like 31 degrees Celsius. Tomorrow's supposed to be like 35, 36. Granted, I am here in March, but still it's not like, peak summer season. So we'll see. We'll see if it ends up being like a total cook show tomorrow. It's not supposed to be that sunny, but it is right now. Thankfully, my hotel does have a rooftop pool, so I'm gonna try and make the most of that. But yeah, that's the mall so far. Gonna go back in, do a little bit of shopping, try and find some lunch here soon. I do have a list of some recommendations from like Google and some other people I follow online. So yeah, gonna go do that, explore a little bit further, and then we'll see what happens. Then call it. All right, stop number 2. We're at a place called Aleppo Cocina in Villa Mora again. Didn't really know what to look for in terms of like Google Maps, trying to find a place around here. So I literally just Googled good restaurants or best restaurants in Asuncion. This one had a 4.8 on Google. So I'm having a beer, a Pilsen. I guess this is like the local Paraguayan beer, kind of like Quilmes is in Argentina, like the most famous, most well-known national beer. And actually, it's pretty good. A lot of times, the national beer ends up being like not that good. Like, one of the ones that comes to mind the most is probably like Brahma in Brazil is terrible. Super Bach in Portugal, also terrible, in my opinion at least. Quilmes I do find is pretty good for Argentina. This is actually delicious, and it's very, very cheap. 15,000 for a pint, which is like $2 Canadian, 250 Canadian. So far I would say the prices have been very, very good. I ended up getting like a little ceviche for dinner here, for lunch I should say. Let's try it out. It's spicy. Very fresh, very good. This is what she recommended for like a smaller plate. I wasn't really sure what to order. Not that hungry. Super tired considering like I see her 3:30 a.m. for this flight this morning. It's actually really good. It's a little bit spicier than most of the food in Argentina. Like I'm sure anyone who's been to Argentina knows there's no spicy food at all in that country. Even if someone says like this is hot, this is spicy, it's not gonna be at all. They're lying if they tell you it's spicy in Argentina. But yeah, this is good. It's like salmon ceviche. We got some red onions. There's like pickled onions in here too. Definitely spicier than I'm used to the food in Argentina. I think my palate's gotten a little bit more gringo since I've been here. I was in Mexico before this, so I got used to kind of like the really spicy foods. But yeah, this is not too bad at all. So I'm gonna finish my lunch here, or I'll head back to the hotel because I am pretty tired. Probably take a nap, maybe chill in the hotel room for a little bit. I do want to hit a supermercado, get some water, get some beers for tonight too. Looks like there's a rooftop bar pretty close to my hotel that I'm gonna explore. We'll see if we'll get after it a little bit tonight, depending on the vibes. I don't really know what to expect. It is insanely hot in the city, I will say. It's getting a little bit later in the afternoon now, and it's like 34, 35. So yeah, gonna finish this lunch and then head back to the hotel. Let's see where we go from there.
Yeah.
All right, just finished my nap and much needed back in the hotel here. It was it was just a really long day waking up at 3:30 or 4 a.m. to take my flight down here to Asuncion, Paraguay. Lunch was amazing. Actually, just thinking about it, the ceviche was really good. I am gonna try like probably a little bit more local food or like traditional Paraguayan food tomorrow. Just getting ready in my hotel room now, having to zoom in on this. This is a Munich, which I guess is another local beer. Pretty good. And again, I said this before about the other national beer, the Pilsen. This is pretty damn delicious. Super cheap, but pretty good overall. I think it was 2,000 pesos for one of these beers. And if I go put this into the calculator here, it's like 45 cents Canadian for a beer, which is like, I don't even know the last time in my life. I don't think I've ever paid that little for beer. But yeah, that's going to be pretty much the end of day one. I am going to go to an Irish pub, watch some sports. Now it's Saturday night, so I never been to Asuncion. I'm gonna go check it out. But yeah, if there is any other videos, it'll be probably on my iPhone. But yeah, we're gonna get to day 2 tomorrow. We're gonna go explore a little bit. It's gonna be really hot tomorrow. So I'll see you in the morning. Actually, one thing I did want to say before I move on. It's funny enough, there's a lot of words on like signs here in different places that are in English. Like the mall, usually it's like a centro comercial. It's actually called just shopping in English. So far, I would say English has not been that common at lunch, pretty much zero. At shopping mall was really not any. I'm in a pretty fancy hotel, so they do speak English at the front desk. But other than that, it hasn't really been too much English. It's not a problem. My Spanish is pretty good, but just something worth noting if you're coming down here, maybe your Spanish isn't so good. But I will say that people have been extremely friendly, very nice, very welcoming. It has not been like sus in any of the scenarios I've been at. Just walking around my neighborhood of Villamora, it's been it's been very good so far. So really easy trip from the airport. Takes about 15 minutes in Uber to get down to Villamora where I am. But yeah, that's gonna be it for today. See you on day 2 tomorrow. Okay, day 2 in Asuncion, Paraguay. I gotta say, I went out last night on kind of Via Mora. The bar I went to was called McCarthy's Irish Pub. Ended up being pretty lit. I was not expecting the nightlife here to be actually that good, but it had a street kind of reminded me of Provenza in Medellin. If anyone has been there in Colombia, it's just like a street with bars on both sides, and then the traffic or like where the cars would be is completely just like closed off, and it's just like tables on the street and people sitting outside and drinking and like pre-gaming basically. That's essentially what this looked like, what it reminded me of. Actually, it was a really cool vibe. I sat on the street, just had a few pints, and kind of just people watched for like an hour and then decided to go into the pub. It was very busy in there. The Google reviews said it was more like live music, but it ended up being like dance floor, DJ, a lot of like university kids. It was pretty fun.
But yeah, so that's day 2. We're gonna go out. I'm gonna go actually to a Korean restaurant, I think nearby my hotel, for dinner. But we're just gonna go walk around a little bit, see some of the city, and then yeah, we'll get after it.
I would say maybe that it's just I'm used to Buenos Aires, but I guess like just walking around, it's different because the streets are just like completely fucking empty. Like I don't remember the last time I was at an intersection anywhere in Argentina where there was just literally nobody out. And I'm in like one of the upgrade, like these are nice condos beside me here. Like this is like a nicer part of town, and there's just nobody. So it's kind of like a little eerie. Like it doesn't feel sketchy, but it's also like where the hell is it?
Man, and somebody, but I thought it was the different kind of this was sad because they supposed to be glad anything like it and I could stage it us. Yeah, and Brit Max. And that's what funny sad you know that the two questions but I have a lot to see how could we cookie. Right. The help me inside it was you could help this because I don't know that I was listening.
Funny enough, one of the things that I do look for when I'm going to these places is like how easy it is for me to fit in. Like obviously as a pretty white looking tourist, it's something I consider in terms of like safety. I will say here in Paraguay, it's pretty similar to like Uruguay and Argentina, how people dress, how they look. I definitely don't stand out. I do try to wear like pretty like not luxurious looking clothes, like pretty much all black, like nothing flashy, as generally I would recommend anywhere in Latin America. But for the most part, like the people here do look pretty similar, so it has been pretty easy to just blend in. They talk very similar, like they use vos. I don't think the accent is as prominent as like, you know, como te llamas and like that kind of thing from Argentina, but it is, yeah, it's been pretty good, just pretty simple to be around, like hasn't been like sus at all. And that's from me going out to like the nightlife area late at night, drunk off my tits. So yeah, so far so good. Just got some monsters secured for tomorrow. Gonna go to the gym in the morning. There's one pretty close to my hotel. But yeah, I think there's this Korean restaurant that I've had on my list since even before I came here. So I'm gonna walk around a little bit more, see what else we can find. And then yeah, gonna head to dinner, maybe get some food, get a pint, we'll see. All right, morning of day 3 in Asuncion, Paraguay. This morning, I'm hopefully gonna go try and find a gym. Looks like there is 2 different ones in Villamora. They both open pretty early here. It is Monday morning. So I'm gonna go see if I can get a day pass, how much it's gonna cost. Hopefully it's not too expensive. I would guess like everything else, it's been pretty affordable. So hopefully they have a decent rate for 3-day passes, but yeah, let's go find out. All right, I was mad tired today. I'm pretty hungover and I still like recovering from my 4 a.m. flight. So on the push day today, I ended up just doing like a 5x5. This is 215. Also the day pass ended up being 50k pesos, which was around 9 Canadian dollars. Around like 6 USD at the time of this video in March 2025. Followed up the bench with this machine plate shoulder press. Options were a little bit limited for my accessories here, so I just kind of made do with what I would, sort of what I would do on a normal push day. From there, moved into the classic like tricep pushdowns. Again, they just had one cable machine here, so it was a little bit difficult to get all my sets in. As you can see, there's like a fairly decent amount of people around while I'm trying to do this workout. But yeah, ended up getting like a pretty decent pump from it. Had the finish, of course, with the lateral raises on a push day. Got to try and get those daddy belts. Yeah, that's the end of the push day here in Asuncion. All right, workout is done. I'm at this Exon gym in Atrium in Villamora, and I gotta be honest, I was a little bit on the fence of whether I was gonna like this neighborhood, but this gym has definitely been incredibly redeeming. I'm in like the outdoor area here that has these power racks, some benches if you're doing like bench press. Also has like a huge turfed area outside here for doing like functional training. And then in the gym itself, inside there's a lot of people, so I didn't want to record, but it has like kind of pretty much everything you'd need from traditional machines to squat racks to bench presses. And then like funny enough, the actual like the hotel I'm staying at is that gray building in the back, and it's all connected through this like a really fancy new build building. This looks like apartments on this side, so I'm guessing the residences are in here and then the hotel's on that side. But it has like a jazz club in here, a couple different restaurants, an event space. It's a very, very good area and very convenient to be in here. It cost me 50k pesos for the day, which is at the time of this video in March 2025, like 9 Canadian, so 6 or so USD. So very, very affordable for a day pass. And this was like one of the best gyms I've been to. So I'm gonna head back to the hotel now. I need to shower, kind of get ready for the day, probably sneak out somewhere to get a coffee in a bit. But yeah, this was definitely a kind of a highlight for me so far in Asuncion. It's been it's been great and super convenient in this Villa Mora neighborhood. So highly recommend.
Okay, it is absolutely pouring rain now. Pretty much has been all day long here in Asuncion, which is great. I was supposed to go out and explore a little bit more today. But one of the things actually I had heard before coming here was that a lot of people in Argentina come here just to shop because the prices are so much cheaper. And I can say, like, without a doubt, I can confirm it. I bought this PSG black and gold jersey. I don't know if it's like a limited color they did at one point, but it looks sick. This was like $11 Canadian, so like less than $10 USD. Then I got this other, like, I don't know, random Paraguayan team tank top that had 69 on it, so it made me laugh when I bought it. It was like $7 again. And then I just went into the mall and bought like a really high end, like premium. The feel of this shirt is incredible, just like an oversized sort of pump cover type of shirt, and it was like $11 Canadian or $12 Canadian. So far, like the retail prices, I can understand why Argentinians come here just to shop. I wish I had a little bit more time, but I mean, part of the reason I came here was to shop and get some clothes before I head back up to Canada in a little while. So yeah, that's kind of midway through day 3 here. I'm gonna wrap up this video shortly. Gonna head to dinner. Hopefully, if it stops raining, there's a Mexican restaurant nearby that's supposed to be really good. I want to go check it out. So hopefully we'll see you there.
Well, I did my best to avoid the rain. Didn't pan out so well. It's just like, it's just so wet everywhere. Yeah, I don't know. Like, I'm at night again in here, and I'm like in the bougie area, but like literally, other than the main street, there's just nobody. Like, I don't know if it's the heart. Like, there's a different neighborhood where people are actually just like out and about walking, but it's like really eerie. Like I said before, it's not sketchy, it's not sus, but I just keep thinking, like, where the hell is everyone? Like, you walk around in Buenos Aires at night and there's just people everywhere. Like most cities, there's just people kind of everywhere. And I walk around here and there's just nobody. You can see cars going by in the background here, but there's no people on the streets. And like, I just went into like 4 different restaurants trying to find a place to have dinner, and there's like nobody in any of the restaurants. Like, I go on Google and they have like 5,000 reviews, very highly rated. I go in and there's just literally not a single person in any of them. And I'm like, where the hell is everyone? I don't know if this is just like a weird time of year and there's like nobody here in March or something when nobody goes out, but like Saturday night was a beautiful hot night. There's really no one. Now obviously tonight's like a shit night, so it makes sense there's nobody out and about, but still the principle stands. So yeah, I'm just gonna wrap you something. I'm heading back to the hotel now and then gonna wrap up my first impressions of Asuncion.
All right, made it back to the hotel, and this is going to be wrapping up the video. My first impressions of traveling to Asuncion, Paraguay. And I just been thinking on my walk back here. Obviously, I just got caught in the rain, a little bit drier now. I'm conflicted about this place. Like, the food has been awesome. The safety, like, it's clean, it's safe. There's good infrastructure. Like, my Wi-Fi's been great. There was a huge storm today. The power never went out. Like, getting here from the airport was really easy. The cell service has been good. People have been super friendly. It's just been easy to do things. But I'm just like, I'm trying to figure out why I would want to come back specifically. It's relatively affordable, I will say, compared to a lot of like other Latin American like capital cities like Mexico City, Buenos Aires, Lima, Medellin, these kind of places. But there's like, I don't know, it's hard to explain. There's not really like a draw to here. Like this neighborhood I'm in, you can tell there's a lot of money being put into it. There's condos being developed everywhere. There's like fancier hotels. The restaurants are good, high quality food at a decent price. The gym that I went to, like I showed, is brand new, super nice, high end equipment. But it's just kind of like eerie because there's nobody, literally nobody. I went out on Saturday night to like the uppity neighborhood where there's supposed to be people, and there was just nobody here. Tonight's like a really shitty night, I get that. But still, like, maybe I'm just used to like the other capital cities, but it's the first time me being in like a fancier neighborhood of a capital city and just not seeing a single person. Like the restaurants I just went to 3 different ones, and I ended up just not eating them because it just felt so eerie being in a restaurant by yourself. And I'm not talking about like 1 or 2 tables or 3 or 4 tables. I mean, literally, I was the only person in the last 3 restaurants I went into. I ended up getting like a water, and a beer because I felt bad just not giving them any money and like wasting their time. But it's like, yeah, I don't know. I like this place, and it's worth the trip. And like I said before, earlier in the video, if you are coming here to shop, it's very reasonably priced, and they have a lot of options, and it's very easy to go to the malls and get some good stuff. but I just can't really see myself coming back here because I don't really have a draw. Like everything that I've done here, I can do in other cities. So this is going to be the end of my Asuncion, Paraguay first impressions video. Hopefully it was useful to hear what it's like to see it, what it's like to be out here. Yeah, it's been fun. Hopefully this video was useful. If it was, feel free to leave a like or comment in the section below. Always helps the algorithm. As always, my name's Alex. Welcome back to Lifting Nomad. We'll see you in the next one. Peace.